Good morning. Good morning, Laws. Oh, I had a different song I actually wanted to sing in my head. What? What? Okay, so it won't let me go live on the Instagram. But good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you back to another great episode of Who? What's up?
Go ahead. I just don't want the remote, but go ahead.
You need the remote? What's up?
What?
Nothing. I was trying to get live on Instagram, but they won't let me press the button. That's stupid. Probably because they don't like me no more. They don't want me. They don't call me. Yeah, legit won't let me press the button. That's crazy. Huh.
You close the app and come back?
I did it twice already.
Oh, well.
I guess the live feature ain't a thing no more. That's crazy. I'm so glad we doing what we doing then. Because if we was waiting on the live to work, there we go. I don't know why I started working then. But then again, I want to welcome y'all back to Wake and Bake with BeMo. Insert words and intro about what our show is, which is essentially cultural analysis in the morning over a blunt with two folks. I'm BeMo. Make sure we're saying good morning to the lady of the house.
Good morning.
She in the house. Got some wonderful things we want to talk to you about this morning. As always, we're being brought to you by the Bridge Podcast Network. Make sure you join us on YouTube if you want the full HD experience. You can see all the logos. You can see my beautiful shirt and the rest of my beautiful face. What's up? You know ya. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So yeah, we have some interesting things we want to talk about this morning. I think the primary thing, the thing that really got me going, it's a couple of days ago, Genius, that's JEAN-YUHS, Genius released one of the first clips from the Kanye West documentary. And if I was a better content provider, I'd have that clip for you queued up right now so we could watch it together. But the truth is, I don't really have it at the moment. So then I will then explain it to you. Lady of the house, have you seen this Kanye clip from like 2003? I might just have to pull it up. Anyway, I just wish there was a thing where I could just snap it and be right there. But I gotta download the video, then I gotta send it to you, and then you gotta put it in the scene. It's just so much work. But in 2003, when Mos Def was quite possibly one of the greater rappers to be walking the planet at the moment, Mos Def is sitting down with Kanye West and they're rapping a song from College Dropout, 2 words, in which it reminded me, and watching this video would instantly transform me back to an individual whose chip on his shoulder was so big because he just wanted to be proven as a rapper amongst some of the best hip-hoppers at the time. Good morning, honey's girl. Make sure y'all pop on over to YouTube. You can find the link in Wake and Bake with BeMo's bio, or just go over to YouTube and type in BeMo, capital M, please, and you will see us there live right now. But watching Kanye rap for watching Mos Def rap for Kanye, and then watching Kanye in turn rap for Mos Def is the type of energy that I haven't seen in so long. it reminded me more recently of Jadakiss at the Garden. Like, it reminded me that although hip hop has a very, I don't know, if you did it wrong, the medium of rap can be bland. But when you do it right, when you're infusing the passion, when you're infusing the culture, when you're infusing the history, when you have this, oh, the look that Kanye has in his eyes is just like desperation. Desperation. And to know that his desperation panned out, I'm not gonna front to you later at the house. I was on the train. I had 2 tears. No bucket, but 2 tears.
What's up?
Nothing. Good morning, online Susie. Remember, y'all, we are over on YouTube under BeMo. We are live at the moment. And make sure we are saying good morning to the lady of the house. Some of y'all are just jumping on here, not being respectful of the other people that are here. I know you can't see it, but you can hear her. She right there. On the Instagram, y'all can really see the dark patches on my eyes, man. I gotta do something about that, bro. That's the fuck terrible. Good Lord. But yeah, I guess that's my cold open.
Okay.
Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
What you got on your mind?
What you want to talk about?
Well, we got a few things to talk about. Got a few things we could talk about this morning. Jaron, good morning, man. Make sure you join us on the YouTube. Hey, Mike, good morning, man. A few things we can talk about this morning. I was sent a wonderful article. Oh, what's up, B? Brandon Hopemeyer.
Hey.
His name is his name on the YouTube. Good morning, man. It's beautiful over here, ain't it? You see how shiny I am? You see my little beard trying to come in? I have 4 hairs on the right side of my face that are actually long enough to hold. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to cut that shit off today, though. Should look fucking wild.
Oh,
A few things.
Oh, Nicholas Lancaster said good morning, too.
Good morning, Nicholas Lancaster. I feel like that's Izzy's cousin, the soccer playing cousin.
Nice.
Because if you ain't know, they canceled the league because they couldn't turn the lights on at night. Not because of Corona,
Ain't that some shit?
because they couldn't turn the lights on at night. Ain't that some shit right there? Oh, good morning. That is yeah. And Auntie Nicholas. Auntie to Nicholas, because they're cousins. Again, good morning, Empress Impresa. Few things we can talk about this morning. We'll send a wonderful article by Geronimo Collins of Chaos and Culture, which I will be, looks like I'm going to be a more permanent guest host on that for a little while, which I'm very excited of joining the Chaos and Culture team. I feel like Geronimo does great work in intellectualizing common and cultural issues, and we'll get to be able to speak, I think, on a more formal level rather than, on Wake and Bake with BeMo. I don't know if y'all know this, but we're coming off the dome.
Yeah.
This is pure feeling right here. This is pure emotion, timing, control, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is real time happening right now. I know you've seen the other cultural analysts out there with the jump cuts and they fancy transitions and they sources that pop up in the corner and the words that seem to just flow out their mouth all naturally. I just want to let you know, we do not care. We do not care. We are not in the game of comparing. I believe there is a lane for us right here within this live lane, so I think we're good. What you think?
Yeah.
All right, for sure. A few things we can't talk about this morning. Actually, it's only 2 things I want to talk about this morning. One of 2 things, and maybe you have another topic that we can bring up, but the unwritten rules of black television. And is the ghetto Americanized? Is the ghetto Americanized? Or shall we discover the unwritten rules of black television? Up to you. But first, waiting on you.
You said but first, like something else was coming.
Sorry.
I think we should start with would you say black?
The unwritten rules of black television.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't finished reading or listening to the article yet, but there is another wonderful podcast out here. Wow, look at the sun.
Yeah.
Wow. That is not going to give the attention that we want it to. It might get us the result.
That was worse.
Yeah, look at the OBS.
The sun's peeking over the building right now.
Yeah, it is, and that's just one of them things, man. That's just one of them things of the show that we have. Like we are in. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, and I'm not one to try to shield from the sun. I actually think it looks fine. But we're in the morning now. Like we in
It's a morning show.
It's a morning show where the sun is actually rising over this building that's right here. In a few moments, it'll be so high it'll be above our floor, but whatever. We're talking about the unwritten rules of black television. Mm-hmm. So, Hannah Georges, who is a writer for The Atlantic, some of my favorite think piecers, favorite think piece people on the planet. I wonder though, if you write enough good think pieces, do you just eventually graduate to The Atlantic? Is that what happens? Because it seems like all of my favorite think piece people eventually get a guest spot into The Atlantic. But anyway, Hannah Georges, writing for The Atlantic, is writing a wonderful article, expose, asking questions about the gap between the two black television renaissances.
Okay.
If you think about black television in the age of Martin, Living Single, Half and Half, Half and Half, and 101, and Girlfriends, they're all on the same network. If you think about the timing of that show, there were a lot of black shows that were happening at that moment. And then when those black shows went off, they just weren't any black shows. But then we got this current resurgence of black media, including your Insecures and your Snowfalls and your Atlantas and your Squid Games. I don't know if that counts, but I'm just gonna throw that in the way. You got all these shows in here that are popularized by people of color, black folks, in the name of Squid Games, Korean folks. We got all these we have a new renaissance of minorities in entertainment spaces. But what this article questions is, what happens in the gap? What happened? Why weren't there more? And I haven't gotten to that. But some of the unwritten rules of television, just the article title within itself and even the introduction into the podcast, makes me then again think about the importance of black pop culture. I want to repeat the stat because I feel like this stat is so necessary, it's so impactful. I don't think we recognize how small our population is. But in order for every white person to have a black friend, every black person would have to have 6 white friends from the time that they were born. Every black person. And I could tell you right now, the 2 people here, you got 6 white friends?
No.
I don't got 6 white friends. I don't even know if I know 6 white people. Chris, Jack, Marianne. I think that's it. Graham. White Frank. Yeah, so it's not true. I can't think of the sixth person. Is there a sixth person? I'm missing somebody. Am I disrespecting one of my white friends? They'll be all right. Um, so in order for white people to have a black friend, every black person must have a white friend from their infancy. At least 6 white friends. Now, why is this important? I feel like I've said this stat a couple of times. So what is the application of the stat? That means I want you to ask the question: if every white person in order for every white person to have a black friend, every black person must have 6 white friends, and we know that's not true. So then, how do white people interact with blackness? How do they intersect with blackness? And then more importantly, because blackness within itself is not monolithic and it can be approached, how do they deal with the hood? How do they deal with this lower socioeconomic status of black folks? How do they deal with poor black people? How do they deal with black people who are incarcerated? How do they deal with black people who are so far away from whiteness that it can't be? There's no way in hell they're having personal relationships to develop nuances and understandings and perspectives around black folks. So I say that to say that white people are understanding black people through black popular culture. Mm-hmm. What is black popular culture? In our terms, that is the same shows that we are claiming are bringing a new renaissance of art back into black spaces. Your Insecures, your Have-Nots, that's Tyler Perry. Your Atlantas, your Snowfalls. I feel like I'm missing another big one out of the big 3. It's another big black show, ain't it?
Do you count Blackish?
Yeah, Blackish. Yeah, whatever. That means that white people are learning about blackness through black television shows. Mm-hmm. Is that a good thing, BeMo? Is that a good thing, Emani? And as I'm thinking about that, and we're talking about the unwritten rules of black television, there always seems to be, within the history of black television, there always seems to be this ideal war, like this conflict happening between two perspectives in which you should. Brandon says, "Are they actually watching those shows?" Yes. To answer your question, yes, we did and I know this is a black-owned newspaper, and this is probably very different than Insecure, but we did a demographic, not we, but the Washington Informer did a demographic focus group to try to figure out who's actually reading their paper. Mm-hmm. The Washington Informer was formed in 1971 by a black man, has been reporting black news from a black perspective, and all black reporters and all black staff since 1971. 87% of their audience is white.
Oh, wow.
Hip-hop is the blackest thing I can think of. It's the blackest thing I can think of outside of jazz. 90% of the demographic for hip-hop is white. It's wild, but it's a numbers game. This is what I mean by the only way that white people are intersecting with black culture is through black popular culture. Mm-hmm. And so there always, as I was getting ready to say, there's always been like this dichotomy, as they would say it since I went to college. There's always been this dichotomy, this dogged war between the two perspectives of black television in which we show ourselves. There has always been the Cosby Show way in which we are going to be idealistically perfect. We're going to bring in consultants on the show, psychological consultants, image consultants, to make sure that every possible frame of this show is bathed in positivity. This show, although set in the 80s, is going to have a post-racial perspective to it. Whereas, I don't know if you've ever seen this show, sweetheart, and some of y'all might not have seen this, but there's also what I call the rock perspective. show called Rock is about a family that lives in the hood. Like they live in the hood, they got gangbangers around them. And while the Cosby Show is trying to insinuate that crime and proximity to crime and the perspective of blackness being dangerous and being feared doesn't affect the Huxtables, the Rocks lean right into that joint. There's a coke dealer right across the street, and I want that nigga gone. So I'm gonna knock on his door and ask that nigga to leave. And I feel like these type of wars about how black people can seen, what black people can be seen in the Africana studies structure is not within the governance structure, is how we are seen by other people, which to me is a less valuable conversation. But if whiteness's opinion is being formed by the quality of blackish, how fair is that to Kenya Barris? Kenya Barris ain't Al Sharpton. No. Not to say that Al Sharpton is our liberator, but Kenya Barris ain't Jesse Jackson. Yeah. Kenya Barris ain't Tamika Mallory. He ain't thieving ass Sean King or thieving ass D. Ray McKesson. He not KJ Brooks, young lady from Kansas City who read the city council for filth. He's an entertainer. An entertainer. Is it fair? Is it fair to put that much weight onto Kenya Barris? Is that his responsibility? And therefore, should his art be authentic to the black experience? Does he have a responsibility? You a hurtful baby. Again, y'all, we are on the motherfucking YouTube. I'm going to jump off of IG here in a second to all my IG folks. I'm going to jump off of IG here in a second. Y'all can come on over to the motherfucking YouTube and we can have us a good time. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll see y'all on Thursday. All right. To my people who out here paying attention and actually doing the right thing. Good morning. But what, what, you are starting Nami the television show. Do you feel the pressures to be as I get it?
Get what?
I get it. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to black film, one of the things I feel like black film does that, that is the major critique is that in black film, we try to put everything into the storyline. We try to put trauma into the storyline. We try to put slavery into the storyline. We try to put... Spike Lee is very, very guilty of this. This nigga will put every trauma point and every victory point into a movie that has nothing to do with those trauma points and victory points.
Right.
And I get why. It's because, from his perspective, if major film companies are giving him money to produce a perspective of blackness, then for him, this is my shot. This is the only chance that I get to express what my folks are feeling, or express a perspective from blackness. So you know what? I'm just gonna throw them all in there. Fuck it. Why not? Can't lose.
But at the same time, I'm thinking, like, if you're Spike Lee and you're given the opportunity to creatively express yourself and, I guess tell our stories, wouldn't you be more inclined to show the positive aspects, or,
I mean, no.
Because if you know that white people get most of their information about black people and like their experiences with black people from black media. Why would you want them to see the negative side?
So if you were in charge of NAMI Films, y'all wouldn't have no negative films. There'd be no negativity. You'd be hitting the Marsai Martin. Only positivity lives over here.
Yeah.
Specifically because of how white people view us?
No.
Pass me a lighter, please. Interesting. Would I be interested in only telling positive stories? I don't know. I feel like that's the paradox of the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show showed a reality which wasn't common at the time, which I think is a reality that is common now because they showed it. They showed a reality at the time that wasn't common, that was bathed in positivity, and people called it unrealistic. And then we look back at the person Bill Cosby was, and we might even connect that his sadistic need for the show to be perfect comes from his prowess as a sexual coercer and manipulator. Yeah, I said it. You don't think that behavior leaks in other shit? Jump off the live now. I don't give a fuck. In which I have a very spicy thought, but I'll keep it to myself for now. Read those last two comments from Drew.
He said, black people aren't monolithic. We have our Huxtables, we have our rocks, and everything in between. I've never seen a Black Caribbean show, but if I did, it shows a side of blackness that's also real.
I've seen a Black Caribbean show.
Oh, yeah.
It was College Hill Season 4. What's up? What's up?
There needs to be a shared universe of black shows like the MCU. There's so many different stories in the diaspora, and they all need to be told.
A shared universe like the MCU. What John would you say?
There used to be, he's talking to Drew, he said there used to be a lot of Black Caribbean shows based in the UK back in the day. The brother who played Jeffrey on Fresh Prince was on one.
That makes sense.
It does.
That makes sense. Because my man had chops.
Yeah.
What's funny is, no, seriously, is there a Black Caribbean show? Because when you were watching College Hill, it was season 4, right?
Yeah.
When you were watching College Hill season 4, they brought up something that you actually don't see in black television shows, which is a diaspora conflict.
Right.
Like when the kids from California were like basically playing the cats from Trinidad, and they were like, "Yo, you know you here, right?
Right.
You know we can fuck you up, right? You need to take all that Americanness, get that shit the fuck up out of here. You can be black,
Right.
We'll celebrate that, but all this judgment." All this shithole country conversation. You sound like Donald. I cannot believe we voted that man president. Damn it, Midge. I'm going to be doing that shit for the rest of my life. Damn it, man.
Well, I found an article of 11 popular Jamaican TV shows, but this was from 2015.
Lord of mercy, that's 6 years ago.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, there are.
Drew says, imagine if Good Times, The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, The Jefferson, Martin, etc. had one big crossover in a special episode. That'd be wild.
Yeah, because they used to do crossovers all the time with the kids shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. But now Insecure is going off, so I guess Paperboy can't show up on Insecure.
Because that's been popular.
Yeah, I mean, yes, last season.
Okay.
Yeah, but Paperboy not showing up at on season 5 of Insecure. That'd be popping.
It would.
But it's not gonna happen. And you know who I've never seen talk to each other?
Who?
Donald Glover and Issa Rae.
Have they ever been in the same room?
Never seen them together.
Do they even know each other?
If I had to guess, this is purely speculation. This is no source. If I had to guess, they don't like each other.
I don't even think it's that. I just feel like they run in 2 different circles, but like that's weird.
No, they know each other. Just like, okay, I know Chris Pirate.
That's your man's.
We were having a conversation last night, like, because Ari Lennox is here, Ari Lennox is in the DMV creative circle.
Okay.
What's funny is me and Yogi were going back and forth about who we could contact to contact Ari Lennox. And both threw out 3 names. It was like, oh, yeah, she basically in the circle. Like, she close enough to touch. If you of the right caliber. Why was I saying that? Oh, amongst the multi-millionaire black creators in Hollywood, I seen Issa Rae had her parties with all the other folks, all the other actors that come through, all the other producers of color that come through. What's that boy name? What's that boy name? Mav Garter? No. What's LeBron manager name? Thank you, Drew. Okay, cool. Now, see, we about to get into speculation. Drew has ended our speculation. He says that Donald Glover and Issa Rae worked together on her original project, The Misadventures of an Awkward Black Woman. He appeared in the season 1 finale. She said, Rich Paul, thank you. She said that she's a huge fan of his. All right, cool. I end my speculation there. But where it was going, in case you're curious, is I think Issa Rae is pro-black, and I don't think Donald Glover is. And as I was talking to the owner of the pop-up, because we said on this show, we said to each other's face, if you married a white woman, by definition, you can't be pro-black. You are literally not creating more black life. Part of pro means more. Propagate.
Would you say the same thing about Dr. Umar if one of his wives was white?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question that I had, I don't know why we got into this because it's not where I wanted to go with this. The question that I had to a new business friend of mine is like, okay, you marry a white woman, you're not pro-black. Is there grace between non-pro-black and coon? Is there a space there between, what's that called? Is that just black?
You indifferent or impartially black, I don't know.
Impartially black.
Like you don't lean one way or the other.
You a neutral black nigga. Yeah. You ashy black. You dull black. Hey, Lauren, good morning. Oh, Drew, you want to know something funny, man? Drew says, BeMo, you need to create a black show set at HU based on all the different personalities we saw at Slow Hall. Last week I had to go to campus to pick up a hard drive from a filmographer. While I was there, I was having a meeting with Kayla. Actually, this is not even the story what it was. We have at the gift shop, one of the people who work there is a Howard student. Mm-hmm. She is a junior.
Ooh. Oh, Ava?
Yeah. Okay. And this is her first year on campus. Mm-hmm. So I asked her where she stayed, and she said, off campus? You say off campus or south? One of those. I wasn't really paying attention. She asked me where I stayed, and I said Slow. Oh, she said, you stayed in that apartment building? And I was like,
that's what they know it as? That's crazy.
I was like, no. And she was like, okay, so where'd you stay? I was like, Slow is a dorm. She was like, it wasn't a dorm. It's an apartment building. Like, it's been an apartment building. And I was like, young lady, I have Rest trophies from Slow.
How you gonna tell?
And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah. And she showed me a picture of our homegirl's apartment. It was beautiful. It's like 3 rooms. I basically just knocked down 2 walls to make an apartment. Because it's the same narrow-ass hallway. Mm-mm. You walk up the steps, it's still the same narrow-ass hallway. But instead of it being like 20 rooms on a side, it's like 4.
Yeah.
Wow. Right. Oh Lord.
Did I read
yeah. Geronimo asked if Meridian, aka the Ebony Sex Palace personalities, could be added to the show. That's a different show.
Yeah.
That's a different NC-17. That's a different show. That's dirty.
Did I ever show you the video of what dorm was that? Oh, it was the Towers, East Towers. That was like, there was a big ass hole in the wall, and like it was running water, and like all the pipes exploded and shit. Yeah.
That's how we got onto the dorm conversation with Ava. I was like, "What's going on in the Towers?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "I live in the West." I was like, "Yeah, it's always ghetto in the East." She's like, "Yeah, it's always been ghetto in the East." Lord of mercy. We talking how? Okay. The second topic I want to talk about is the ghetto, let's be salacious about it, is the ghetto the most Americanized version of blackness? Is the ghetto, now mind you, I want to put this in perspective because the ghetto was a place. The ghetto was not a type of people. The ghetto was a place. We're talking about the marginalized group of individuals who are stuck in a housing situation, public housing situation, neighborhood housing situation, not because of choice, but because of infrastructural, structural, systemic racism in some sort. Redlining, gerrymandering, wage gouging, education gap, skill gap, gentrification. All these things can attribute to why you're in the ghetto. But Geronimo asked me a question. He was contemplating the marketing perspective of folks from the hood.
Okay.
And it made me think upon, is the ghetto the most American of black folks? So, wouldn't prison be worse? Is prison? Well, I feel like prison is prison. Well, you consider prison the ghetto in this situation.
Okay.
Are these the most Americanized people? He showed me this picture. When he said the ghetto, think about these people here.
Oh, I thought you wanted to. Okay.
I can. You can throw it up on the screen real fast.
Okay. Airdrop it.
When I say the ghetto, I want you to think about these people here.
The preview, yeah.
Oh. Okay. And then maybe studio mode. Enable studio mode, which is on the far right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can just drag that joint on there. When we say ghetto, I want you to think about, why are we going in and out?
I don't know if that's.
Because you're doing stuff in OBS. So. And oh yeah, this is YouTube that's raising up, not necessarily our recording that's raising up. But anyway, waiting on the lovely lady of the house to place the picture, huh?
Send it in.
And so I had a hypothesis, right? And you'll see these individuals as they're coming up, but I'm going to continue talking. So I had a hypothesis. When brands are creating the products that hood folks, ghetto folks, hood adjacent folks are eventually going to wear, what is the model demographic? What is the I forgot what they say in marketing language. It's like the story, the character arc of your demographic person. Like whenever you go to a marketing person, they're like, oh, describe to me 3 people that would buy your product, right? When Gucci goes to their marketing people and they say, oh, describe the 3 people, I think they're really describing middle-aged white women. All right, thank you, Geronimo. What do you say?
It's up, but there we go.
I'd love to do the show with them for the rest of the day. Thank you. I'd love to be with y'all. Thank you. Hey, y'all. Let me ask y'all a question since y'all here with us today. Where did you see your outfit? If I had to guess, I would say that you saw it in Vogue, that you saw it on E! Entertainment Tonight, that you saw it on a runway show, that you saw it in a mall, in an out-of-home experience that was designated for middle-aged white women. Because I was interested in high-end men's fashion, which I'm still not very interested in high-end men's fashion, but because I wanted to see what the fuck other shit was like polo, so that I could wear polo like Kanye. Middle-aged white men read. So when I was investing in the product, I was investing also in a customer avatar that was similar to what the demographic was designed to be. I was fitting within that situation. I think this is why AOC caught smoke at the Met Gala. You supposed to be tearing down the Hunger Games, and now you are an invitee to be a judge. Yeah. So do woke niggas wear Gucci?
Fuck, that's a great question.
I ain't never seen Dr. Carr in anything designer. I ain't seen Dr. Karen Hunter in nothing designer.
But I seen Wayne Frederick and drip down.
Is Wayne Frederick woke?
No, that's my point.
We need a better word than woke, but woke is the energy that I got right now. Aware, maybe. Do woke niggas wear Gucci?
Enlightened?
Do the enlightened wear Gucci? Think of your favorite intellectual. Do you even know? Is intellectualism not perceived as luxury? Or do the intellectuals know that the true luxury can't be worn, bought, sewn, galvanized? Even anthropologists who will study culture, who will study the importance of a material to a culture.
I'm trying to figure out what it, I don't know.
What's it say?
It keeps going between air and warning saying something about a keyframe frequency.
Oh.
Like the bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate.
What's it say? I don't even know what the recommended bit rate is.
It's 1500, but they recommend 4500.
Mine's at 1500?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know how to change that.
Okay. They recommend, write that down. I feel like my laptop is. Why are you working so hard? And I feel like that's why I'm freezing up.
You have a lot of programs open? Let's see.
Maybe.
Quick time.
Yeah, do that. You can close Audition and Premiere too.
Oh, that might be it. Let's see. I'm saving whatever this is on the Premiere.
Huh?
It's asking me to save.
You can say no.
Oh.
Wow, we're really doing this right now. Sorry. Who are we talking about? Oh, do woke niggas wear Gucci? So, talk about live potheads, man. We just got distracted and started going into practice mode. So ipso facto, if I do the math, if woke niggas don't wear Gucci, then who wears Gucci? Of our culture, some folks still don't understand the beauty of our worth. Then it makes sense. If you sit back and think about it for just a moment, it makes sense. It makes sense. If the hood, the ghetto, is a representation of a place that is a result of marginalization, gentrification, decentralization, etc., all these cations, minus vacation. If the ghetto is a result of that, then we know what the force is. We know what the force is. The force is racism. The force is whiteness, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. Trauma bonding with the hammer. don't know how many people watching right now. Is it 3?
5.
To the 4 people, because we one of them. To the 4 people who was on. With the hammer. And we need new blueprints. Because what we making right now ain't working. And when I think about, oh man, this is deep. When I think about, it tastes like a Pop-Tart all of a sudden. But when I think about the ghetto, when I think about the hood, when I think about individuals who are wearing Gucci, I think it is just a system, a culture to assimilate towards safety or assimilate towards neutral, which in this case is whiteness. And so as I'm talking to my people here, my man, you fly. Baby girl, you fly. Like, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. That's not the point of this conversation at all. But I think like as an application, as a thought, when we show up to the diaspora picnic like that, will people understand?
Mm.
I've been having that thought about being an American in the diaspora and like how my Africanness, we said this on the show prior, my Africanness in the diaspora will always be accepted. Mm-hmm. It's that American that comes with it that seems to be constantly casted out. And while I agree that we must reframe and re-edify and re-educate and create anew, we are still part of the diaspora even when we come like this. This is going to sound crazy because it's Gucci, but that is our kente cloth.
Right.
We are not close enough to the earth to create the materials ourselves. Our proximity to material is through consumerism, capitalism. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we could be marginalized, yet wear the outfit of one of the most powerful demographics in America, right, is both assimilation and also who the fuck we are. It's assimilation and authentic. Wow, what a fucked up position we are in. Wow. You got any burning questions for the Roach?
Okay, so do you think there's a difference between that and adorning ourselves with jewels and, like, yeah, I know he has jewelry on, but you know what I mean, like the traditional sense.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, like is that our version of this?
It is cool to see that in modern streetwear, niggas is floating more towards black-owned products, black experiences, yeah, black nostalgia. So, yes. So, like, we adorn jewelry, and I think in a way to... Here's a fun fact that I learned. So we talked about the fade, the haircut here on the show before. I'm doing research for YouTube right now on black hair. Wonderful time, having a great time. It's fun, et cetera, et cetera. One of the fun facts that I've learned about the about black hair is the history of the high top fade. So the fade itself was, of course, invented in the military in the between 1920s and 1930s. Mm-hmm. It's the hairstyle that the military deemed, that black men created in the military, that the military deemed to be appropriate for maintenance of black hair, right? Which was just to shade off the sides and have it just bald on the sides, right? Mm-hmm. In the 80s, hip hop artists would take that same concept, except they would add a gradual fade and a high top to resemble the bust of Nefertiti. So when you ask if we are adorning jewels to look like traditional or to look like Egyptians and Africans that we have seen in the few illustrated mediums we've seen of our titans from the past, yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm watching impeachment on FX right now, American Crime Stories impeachment, and it is reminding me that the nature of a viral story or a hot story has been changed forever. Now it's viral. Now it's trending. Now it's all over social media. It used to be, now this shit came out in Newsweek, and this was the article this week, and that's all you got. It used to be, oh, we all watched Michael Jackson perform, and we all saw the moonwalk, but it wasn't until the next day when we was at the water cooler that we talked about it, and then it became popular. 2.5 seconds. The way we think about that now is not the same. Hey, send me the video real fast.
Right. That's true. It's as simple as a share.
Say it again.
It's as simple as a share.
Yeah. Instant. And it also leaves as quickly. Last thing before we go. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge something very important that has happened. Excuse me. It might be too late and too many people may have suffered so far. But that nigga R. Kelly going to jail. This nigga R. Kelly going to jail.
Damn, Robert.
And I don't care. I care that you're going to jail, but I don't feel sorry for you.
No.
Go to jail. You should have been in jail. I feel like we talk about this when we talk about other cases that happen in the public, in black popular culture. It's that, like Geronimo said, under the jail, sentenced to 547 years. No, we can't talk about the supporters because they wrong. 547 years. Go to jail, sir. I always feel tricky about the situations every time we talk about like decisions in black popular culture cases. It's I guess bittersweet is the proper term. You can let my people go now. I guess bittersweet is the proper term, but it's like, yeah, justice is served. I don't know if I'm necessarily happy about this nigga going to jail. I don't know if I'm necessarily happy about. I'm happy about his survivors being able to see that in their lifetime. That's what's up. I wish that for all survivors, to be honest with you, to be able to see justice enacted on the motherfucker right in front of your face. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. And there's a history. It's a whole lifetime. A whole young lady's life has come, gone, and passed under the villainy of this man. Question though. How long until you listen to the Chocolate Factory? If we are about restorative justice, wait, are we about restorative justice? Or fuck this nigga?
Fuck that nigga.
All right, for sure. Never mind. We want to thank y'all for watching another wonderful morning of Who Wake and Make We Be Mo. Yeah. Make sure you catch us right back here on Thursday. Subscribe, like. Hey, all four of y'all right now, like this video right now. Like it. Go ahead. Do it. Do it.
Well, it's 7.
Oh. Oh. All 8 of y'all like this video right now. Okay? Let's build this motherfucker up. Let's build the Wake and Bake with BeMo Night Army on YouTube. Okay? Did I tell y'all the stats on Instagram? Did I tell you the stats? One of the most impressive things about the statistics behind the scenes at Wake and Bake with BeMo is, I'll give you an example. One morning, it said that we had 50 viewers on Wake and Bake with BeMo, right? Mm-hmm. And then right underneath that, it said amount. It's reach. So that's the amount of people who were available to be lived. Mm-hmm. So we had 50 people who had jumped on the live, max concurrency at 27, and then 22, excuse me, at 22. And then we had 55 people in the reach. Oh, wow. That's ridiculous. Shit, we might be on CBS. They might fuck around and put us on UPN. Shit. But yeah, but thank y'all. So make sure you give us a like, give us a subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Put the notification bell on. We'll be back on Thursday. The ish in 8 a.m. is real. Okay? Because we still trying to figure shit out. Actually, we still trying to transition into YouTube gracefully and beautifully. While still building some more plugins, still trying getting our lighting and our focus correct so to make sure that we are outputting. As you know, as y'all saw, I don't know if we doing the robot on your end, but on our TV, it looked like we just, every once in a while, we just get the little wheel and it's like, oh, these niggas not here. But, unless my eyesight is playing me, the Bridge Podcast Network logo look clear.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see our plant. It's our plant. Yeah. It's our rubber plant. We have a few plants. We gotta get some more plants. Oh my car. All right. I'll see y'all on Thursday. Good morning.
Good morning.
You see me looking at you, look at me.